I'm Francisco, and my partner is Brian, and we created AirFitness. AirFitness allows users to get real time information about their air quality and get exercise recommendations. If a user doesn't know how to do an exercise, they can learn through the how to page. We chose to create AirFitness because we live in an area that has one of the worst air qualities in the country. Not only does air pollution cause coughing, it can worsen diseases that involve your lungs. Some people do not know that they're harming their insides while being outside when the air quality is terrible. They just go outside to improve their body while their inside is getting worse every time they take a breath. Being healthy on the inside can be a challenge, and that's where Air Fitness comes in. Air Fitness allows users to go outside without worrying about how their lungs are getting worse by the second. Users will be able to step outside and stay fit by doing outdoor activities rather than staying inside and being bored all day. Our targeted audience isn't for a specific age group, it's more for people who like to live a healthy lifestyle and exercise outside. Air fitness is not just for exercising outside. Anybody can use it if they like to know how their air quality currently is, or if they like to get more information on which exercises can improve certain muscle groups. Seeing how there were multiple apps on the Google Play Store and Apple Store that provided fitness information and a way to track your nutritional intake, none of them provided information based on the user's air quality. Air Fitness would bring fitness information and air quality into one. Being able to bring those two together allows users to fine tune their workout routines even more, or even someone who just wants to know when it's a good time to go outside. We plan to make Air Fitness recommend things based on the AQI, the users in the user's location. Also allow users to take a quiz and select which muscles they like to improve. And based on their selection during the quiz, they will get a list of exercises to do. If they do not know how to do an exercise and want to learn how to do it, then they can go to the how to page and learn. Those features will be available to users once they register and log into their account. For external resources, we used AirVisual for the API, and their API provides us with the information that we need to give to the users. For the front end, we use Bootstraps, and the back end uses PHP. JawsDB is used for MySQL connectivity, and the web page is being hosted on Heroku. We used Agile for this project because it allows us to break down each feature into smaller milestones. We organized the milestones by must have and nice to have. Back in November, we started the project and we got familiar with the API that can provide us information. In December, we got the basic front end done and we're able to call the API. When January came around, we were able to get the database set up and users were able to register and change their password. In February, the homepage got completed, and in March, we created and styled the exercise quiz along with the muscle group page that displayed different types of muscles and individual exercises to improve that muscle. Hashing was implemented in April along with the AQI search function. So far, a user is able to make an account, log in. If they want to change the password, then they're able to do so. They can take an exercise quiz, get recommended exercises based on the muscles that they'd like to improve. They can also check to see what the air quality is like based on the location they search for.
All right, thank you, Francisco. I'll be taking it over from here. AirFitness works by taking the AQI in the form of a number. This allows us to give recommendations about going on site to the user. The project allows the user to sign up, sign in, and change the password. There's a quiz that can recommend the user exercises based on their targeted muscle group. In the future, we plan to add support for more recommendations based on AQI. Here's a walkthrough of our features. The initial landing page shows the more important information, including what features, and allows a visitor to sign up pretty easily with a simple button click. This includes some images to show visitors that we're fitness focused. At the navigation bar, we have home, services, about, and exercises. For now, let's focus on the exercise page. The exercise section of our site shows the various muscle groups that a user may pick. Clicking one takes you to the exercise page of one particular muscle group. Each of these pages show various exercises with a description to get a user started. This feature is accessible without needing an account. Next, let's go back to the home page and into the register button. Filling the text boxes should allow you to continue. Keep in mind that only emails are accepted in the email box. The user can have a simple username, and the passwords aren't subject to any requirements at this time. All passwords are hashed and stored into a database, so even if someone were to get access to the database of users, they wouldn't be able to log in because the user inputted password is hashed and compared to the hash already existent in the database. For now, let's sign up. All right, we're in. Now, after you've signed in and registered, you get access to some new features. Let's head to the AQI page. Here, you can type the name of the city and state within the US. Other countries have yet to be implemented. Once you click submit, it should give you information about the AQI. AirFitness can tell you to stay indoors, depending on the AQI. If you're lucky, you'll be able to go outside to perform various exercises. This leads us to our other feature. Clicking on the quiz tab of the navigation bar leads you to a quiz page where you can take a quiz so that AirFitness can recommend you some exercises. Notice how there are some simple muscle groups listed. This is so that the user isn't too confused about the exercises. Finally, of course, the user can log out when they're done. This destroys any local information that they generated about their session. And it takes you back to the home page. My partner, Francisco, was responsible for the front end. I added all the features you saw except the information about the exercises, which was done by my partner. Some of the main challenges consist of getting Heroku to play nicely with PHP. It's one thing to display static content, but another to serve interactable content. I had to make a decision about database connectivity too. I initially opted for a service outside of Heroku, but it turned out easier to use JAWS DB, which is simple to add to your Heroku project. Another hurdle was learning about how to use APIs to get the info you want. Working with JSONs, I had no experience on how to parse it to get the info right. Sure, the API had some great documentation, but it was geared towards more experienced developers. Additionally, I was responsible for merging both the front end and the back end. It's harder than it looks. PHP sometimes doesn't play nicely with HTML. One small but annoying bug was that the hashes weren't being stored properly in the database. The size of the column of the password field was long enough to account for how long the hashes were. It took quite a while to figure this out. What I personally learned from this project was that setting up a lot of our tools is tantamount to the project itself. It took research learning about the relationship between a front end and a back end and how to handle the development of each at the same time. Had we done that better, I think we would have had less trouble integrating the back end and the front end. I also considered myself a novice of PHP, having taken only a single course on it. But after the project, I understand the server-side language a lot better now. My plan for the future of this project is to continue development on it. It still needs a ton of polish and more features before I can call it complete. Currently, it's a working proof of concept, and I believe it shows promise. Thank you for your time. It's been a long and challenging semester. This project was quite rewarding.